Yo, mic check. Yo, morning DJ, what's going on? Morning, morning. Just getting my levels going here. What's going on? Yeah, today's I mean, from what I saw, it is an inside day, but I just think that could change. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like, we have some announcements today for news, so I think that could change, to be honest. So I'm just gonna stick around, cause last time, yo, what's going on? What's going on? Yeah, last time, there's been so many days where I'm like, okay, it's an inside day. I'm not gonna waste the time. And then and then it just expands, you know. Then it just becomes an outside day. So I'm like still indecisive if I'm gonna trade today, but my hope is that like my intention is that you know this does become an outside day eventually. So yeah, that's the low right there, and then the high. Okay. What's going on? Y'all signed up for a new Teach trade, by the way? Because that's where all the lessons and extra stuff is going to be. I'm actually going to be creating some lessons there as well. So yeah. What's going on? Yeah, yeah, I figured. I know you have two accounts. What's going on? That's what's up, man. Yeah, it's that's what I was telling you guys a couple weeks ago. That's like, that's the release, but should be good for everybody because honestly, like, even if you subscribe for like 10 to 12 months, you are actually paying less than what one Advanced Academy enrollment last year actually costs. So it's just a really good value. Like, all you got to do is take the lesson within a year, and you've gotten the value. You've gotten it like for way less. So should be good. Um, I think lowering our barrier of entry is a good decision, and I think it'll benefit us in the long term. So yeah, things are just cheaper. What's going on? What's going on? And I think Taylor is having an exclusive stream for people who are in the academy instead of the Twitch because the Twitch is just like I mean the Twitch is just him, you know what I'm saying? He's just chilling. There's no like order or structure or expectation because it's literally just him doing his job pretty much, which is just trading full time. But in terms of the live stream, like for the Academy live stuff, when he live streamed for trading there, I think he's going to be a little bit more prescriptive and a little bit more like coachy, teachy, or whatever. So it's cool. Because, obviously, if you've been in the other streams, like, um, we kind of just chill. Similar here, you know what I'm saying? We just chill. We focus on the execution and whatnot, but I think he's going to be a lot more intentional with his coaching and like literally calling stuff play by play. Like, hey, I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that. So it could be a cool experience. When I'm not streaming, I'm gonna hop in one of those streams too for the platform. But yeah, I think that's going on today. Um, and I think right now we're kind of just letting people in as we please so far. But then next week, like after the 14th, I think that's gonna when the beginner academy actually starts. So that's when things are gonna get real official, I guess, for lack of better words. I mean, things have always been official, but obviously we took a lot of time to like plan, and now it's finally happening. So yeah, shit actually took a lot of work, so I'm just glad it's done because I can actually like go back to normal trading activities where it's just like I come in, I do my levels, I make a little money, and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. I don't really have to do anything else, but I'm glad to be here, like finally after all that shit that we did. Can teach Key about buying contracts. Yeah, I can. I'm gonna screenshot that and I'll send it to him in our admin group. Yeah, I know. Futures is just so easy. It's so brainless, which makes it like kind of addicting to trade because it's like, well, half of the options, half of like the learning for options is like, what strike you pick, when do you do it, this that. It's like, why would you do all that when you can just buy and then sell, you know? And that's just my opinion. I'm not gonna. And also like I trade options for 2 whole years straight up, so it's like I'm not gonna really disrespect it like that. But I'm just saying like, yo, there's better instruments for what you want to do, in my opinion. All right. It's almost market open. Let's see what market open does, and I'll try to take an analysis right now. Because honestly, I don't really care about the price action at the moment. Why? Why? Well, I'll tell you. It's because if you go inside the daily, you'll see that this is an inside day. Um, and so if that's the case, right, it's not really super welcoming for us to trade, but Now here's the thing. This is why I'm willing to wait, right? So I'm gonna open a new tab here. If I go to Forex Factory, you'll see that there's a couple things, right? There's orange news at 9:30, there's 9:45, and then there's 10, which is red. So like the next half an hour after market open, it should be a little bit. It should definitely be volatile. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm expecting just because of those news indicators. But you know, for now, we're just gonna wait. Like, there's not really much to say. I really want this to really wake up and start giving us the ranges that we had the last 2 days. But if it doesn't, that's okay. It's just not for me to trade, you know. I also got a coaching call today at 11, so I will be closing this stream at 11 sharp. Even if I have a trade open, I'll just leave the trade open and call it there. But I have a coaching call at 11 that someone booked today, so should be pretty cool. I think there's a member. Yeah, definitely. You can definitely set a one-on-one with me. I could drop the link. Hold on, what the hell just happened? Yeah, I'll find the link right now. That's the link. Uh, so I gotta go. I think today I'm gonna be teaching him Silver Bullet, but I think I'm gonna spend like the first 15 minutes uh just figuring out how he trades first. We'll see though. I usually need like some hours to teach that though, to be honest. It's not like you sit down for 30 minutes and you know it. It's kind of like you gotta learn it and then you practice a little and then you start to see it. You know what I'm saying? It starts to click. It doesn't. I feel like my experience teaching it, it's never immediate. It's always like, okay, you pointed out some concepts, and then people start seeing it. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the expectation I have, but we'll see. We'll see how this call goes. Mm. You know what I gotta do? I got a dentist appointment today. I gotta reschedule that shit. All right, I just texted my dentist. They're gonna have to hold up because we're trading today. Feel kind of bad though. Yeah, the market has been fucking out of its mind. I honestly think half of it is because of Trump. Like, uh, he just gets. I feel like in the middle of the day he gets on, he says crazy shit, and then no one knows what to expect from his stuff, and so everyone just sells. You know, they just get out. Let me see the daily real quick. Like, bro, Look how many days it took to get up here, right? It took a ton. It took a ton of days. It took like almost a month, and now within this week, within this last 2 weeks, it's just like, damn, we lost all that shit, and we even went lower, right? All right, we took this. We took this, right? So that's kind of the explanation as to where it was gonna go. We still have this. Oh, we actually took that as well. I want to see if this. Okay, that's. I mean, damn. The next day is like right here, which is super duper low. It's like almost 300 points lower. I don't even know. I don't even know when we're gonna hit that. It's scary. I mean, I've been playing downside pretty successfully recently too. Like the last couple trades I had, I took 20, 30, 40 points down always. So I think I might just go for downside again. I mean, it's not a super hard sell considering well, we have all time frames down right now. Wait, okay, it's 9:30, market open. Okay, it's 9:30 now. There should have been some news that actually hit. What? And now what? We're up on the hourly? Ain't no way. I did some contract trades, but my issue buying contracts or options. I have 1K to trade with and not try to kill my mind when I was. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, what the thing with the options is that you gotta like define your risk ahead of time. So it's like if you got $1,000 like in your portfolio, you might want to only risk like 1 to 200 at a time. Even then, like even 1 to 200 is honestly a lot if you're day trading. But it's like if you got a week to hold it. Sometimes when you're first starting out for options trading, it's like sometimes you gotta wait like 4 to like 2 weeks to see your $200 even move. You know what I'm saying? So that's like what I don't specifically like because now when I'm starting out, or let's say I pay myself and I just want to take some money out and like, you know, um, restart an account, then what I'm doing is effectively like waiting a very, very long time, or possibly waiting a long time till my first futures options trade hit. And it's like, it's cool, but I just can't help think like I didn't need like 3 weeks to make like $200. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I could have done that within a day or two. So that is like my gripe with the option stuff, right? And so like for me as a guy, and the thing is, here's the thing, like it wasn't always like this. I was trading options, and I still am gonna trade options. I'm just not gonna day trade them. I'm not gonna trade weeklies anymore. I'm just gonna go with key, and I'm just gonna have my options portfolio. I'm actually gonna have my options on my screen like this. I signed up for a TradeStation account, so I'm actually just waiting for the funds to deposit. So now that I have the TradeStation account, I can actually just manage the options when I'm done trading futures. You know what I'm saying? So I will be doing that, but I'm just gonna swing trade. But like I feel like when you're exposed to both, it's kind of like a happy medium. You have one place where you can be really fast, you don't have to risk a ton, and then you can enter a day trading position. Or let's say like, you know, maybe you want to play an individual stock. Sometimes playing those individual stocks is way better than like um, just playing an index, right? Sometimes Roblox will move, and Roblox has nothing to do with SPY. So Roblox will be up and SPY will be dying. You know what I'm saying? Or SPY will be choppy. But on those days, it's probably nice to have those other individual assets. So like I was only trading options. I was only trading futures like last 2 or 3 years now. So now, uh, I think I'm just gonna do some hybrid approach because I enjoy the long term and I enjoy the short term. Like I don't want I just want to be making I just want the income to go up on like both ends. Even like let's say I have a down day in my futures trade, which definitely happens. Let's say I lose twice really early, I might have my options portfolio to still kind of see me through, right? So that's kind of my goal. I don't know how it's gonna work because I've never done both at the same time. But we'll see. Even if I lose, I don't really care. I'm willing to adjust till I get better. Like when I started doing futures and trading from options into futures, the flow or the freedom was so different from with futures that I actually lost a lot of money in like 2 months because I really didn't know what I was doing. And it's not that I didn't know what I was doing. It's more so like I had no idea of the risk profile I needed to have to actually successfully trade futures, and it's like way less. It's way less than options. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten away with being really risky in options and winning, but for the futures, you're really risky. You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn, not from me. You're gonna learn like why that's a bad idea, and I don't have to teach you that. Anyone in the market or anyone that's trading against you will probably just end up taking your money. You're gonna be like, holy fuck, I lost my whole portfolio one day. And that's also something else. I feel like in options, if you put up your whole portfolio, then you can lose it. But every trade, if you don't put a stop loss in futures, you could lose your whole portfolio. Um, there's actually been many times where I ended up depositing a couple $1,000s and I lose it within 1 or 2 days. Early on, like when I was learning the futures. That's how I know. Like that shit could really just happen. Yeah, you can adjust. I mean, your risk is effectively a little bit different. Like, so when you trade options, right? You have a ability to buy contracts. You know what I'm saying? Like, buy as many contracts as you want. Let's say they're $20 a piece. So if you bought like 200, you can buy 10 contracts, and then you know that no matter like how much, then you know like you can lose max, right? 200. But with futures is different. With futures, it's actually more so about the scale. And so what happens is that when you enter a futures position, you're actually picking the increment that each move goes up. Does that make sense? So like at $200, when you risk $200 for options, you can only lose $200. But for futures, you can actually gain and lose a limited amount because you're betting on how many increments that you're getting. So for example, if you were to buy 3 contracts, it means every tick you're gonna go up every tick up or down, you're gonna lose or gain a certain amount of money. And if you were to buy more contracts, then every tick up or down, you're actually gonna lose even more money. So the scaling or the way you risk is a lot different. So that's why like you could risk. It's different for everyone. you could risk 2 contracts and then risk like 100 points, and that might be the same money as risking 20 contracts for 10 points. You know what I'm saying? So that's like kind of how that works. If you don't, I can actually just draw this shit out for you if you don't understand. While we have time. Ah, okay, that's why you want to do a one-on-one. All right, I got you, I got you. But I might just end up saving you like $100. Let me show you. Or what time is it? 9:39? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna show you real quick. You see my screen? You have to at this point. Excalibur. Okay, this is how that works. I'm gonna show you 2 charts, and this is what options chart look like. Okay, here's your stock, right? Or shit. All right. Here's your stock charts, right? Doesn't stock charts don't really matter, right? So let's say we got options here, and then futures here, right? So when you risk $200 here, it's probably like you've bought like, let's say 10. Oh, this drawing software is so good. Times 20 cons, right? Or let's say 10 cons by 20 cents, right? So effectively you're paying $200 for this position. So when the market goes down, how much can you lose? Well, the answer is max $200. Okay? That's how much you can lose. It's pretty simple. But now, when I say you want to risk $200 on futures, well, it's a little different, right? Because now effectively what I can say is that you could buy a little bit of contracts here, and then if this goes down 100 ticks, you'll lose $200. Or you could buy, let's say, 10 or 5 times more contracts here, and if you go down here, it's still $200. And if you took this contract size and put it here and lost all the way down here, you would have lost maybe $2,000. Because the risk is defined by your lot size, by the amount of contracts you actually start with. Now, when I'm doing a prop firm account, I usually go like 5 to 10 contracts because the risk is like, you can be inherently risky. When I do personal accounts, I do 1 to 5 contracts. Like when it's my personal money, I don't scale up like that unless I've effectively doubled or like more than doubled my account, pretty much. I don't increase the scale until that happens. The most contracts I've ever traded in one go was 27 contracts. 27. And that was like so fucking scary. I was up and down thousands within like seconds. So I would just not I mean, like, people definitely do that. There's definitely streamers that like and traders that like trade way more contracts than me. Although odds are they're using prop firm accounts and what they're doing is like copy trading. You could try a prop firm. It's just like if you don't like, let's say if someone asks me like how much they need to do futures with their own account, I'll say at the bare minimum you need to have like $1,000 or $1,500, and you should be trading micros with that $1,000 to $1,500. But if you don't have that and you want to get exposure and actually potentially make money into futures, then you could just get a prop firm account, get a 50 or 100K account from Apex or anyone else like Top Step. And what you can do is you can just trade on that for 2-3 weeks. It gives you a little bit more pressure because I mean, it is a demo account, but you have to do well on the demo account. So it's effectively like a real account so you can get funded. Again, the thing is like, if you're practicing and you need to learn, just do what you need to do. Use your own money, or if you don't want to use your own money, use prop firm and make sure you can get funded. That way, if you do get funded, you can actually make a trade or actually get a month payout, and then you can take that month payout and actually use it towards a real account, right? Like real money. Um, so you could do that, but for me, it's like, I mean, I just don't see why I would spend like 2, 3 weeks to complete a trading challenge when I already got money. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't feel like I need to trade within the rules of somebody else because, like, for them to give me a couple $1,000, you know what I'm saying? It's like I could just get it. I could just get the $1,000. But I mean, but here's the thing. Like, this is just me speaking as like an experienced trader. I have done prop firms just to try it out and just to see what it was. I did get funded 2 or 3 times, but you had me waiting like a month payout. You know what I'm saying? In a month, I already made more money than with my real trading than I did the prop firm, so I don't really get it. But there are some advantages if you're really good at getting the accounts. If you can get them in like a couple days, then you should probably get like 3, 4 accounts, and then you can copy trade them and you can keep your risk really, really low. You keep your risk really low on each account. That way, you're still making a lot of money, but you're actually not risking that much. Yeah, bro, for sure. I definitely don't mind going into depth. But honestly, I will say, within the ICT community, there's like a lot of analysis paralysis where people are like, oh my god, I got to study like all this, I got to study all that. What you need to do is just find a model that you can trust and you see clearly, and just keep doing it, and if it's not working, just refine the model. That's actually your job because if you spend all your time refining your model in like a couple months or a year or two, you just will be focused on scaling. You know what I'm saying? You just have to get good at executing. Even myself, I've been doing this for like 2 years on one model, and of course, like I definitely have a grip on it for sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doubting myself in terms of my understanding of it. It's just sometimes my execution is not good. You know what I'm saying? So it's more so just about showing up every day, having the expectation, and making the right decisions. You know. So I think that's what I can offer in terms of ICT concepts. Because people say like, oh yeah, ICT doesn't work, blah blah blah, this and that. I'm like, dude, you can say what you want about ICT and how he's like a fucking whack job and shit. And to a point, I agree. But to be honest, he is one of the best like trading teachers to ever exist. And it's because the way he teaches and the way he gives people information is so useful. You know what I'm saying? Like actionable people are really actionable when they study ICT, and that is like the whole point of it. Like the whole point of it is to not like marry a strategy. It's more so what he teaches you is more so about taking the concepts and creating your own model, creating your own expectation, and then you will start to really like sort of be on that like key slash me where you're like almost predicting the market before it happens. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that to be like, yeah, I'm psychic. I can predict the market. I don't predict the market. I just make like, really good educated guesses based on my experience and what I've seen. You know? Yeah, I mean, sticking to the strategy is super important. You'll see that most people just have a problem with like discipline and actually like making clear, conscious-headed decisions when things go against them, you know? Like, because at the end of the day, a lot of these strategies do work. That's the thing. Like, EMAs, supplies and demand zones, all this stuff, like support and resistance, they all work. You know what I'm saying? It's more so how you position yourself based on that information that was given is gonna like, you know, it's gonna like take you farther than a lot of other things are searching for like an edge or a strategy. And the reason is because effectively like, when I trade, right? I already say this. My concept of like saying, okay, there's liquidity here. Okay, we have a liquidity grab here. That's also, if you really think about it, that's also kind of like a repackaged broad information, right? Because if I chart the swing highs and the swing lows, uh, let me see. So if I chart the swing high, right, and the swing lows, you'll start to see like what Taylor says is pretty much what we're doing when we're acknowledging like liquidity grabs, right? We're saying, okay, it came outside the broad information. We're not gonna wait till it takes the trade back into the broad information and then it'll go for the upside. Why would it go for the upside? Because apparently on the broadening formation, it's bouncing, right? It's bouncing off the broadening formation. But we know as ICT traders that we would consider that like a liquidity grab, and then now it's going to go for something that we would know as like buy side liquidity, right? Or it's just like upside. So, just to like, I'm not like a snake oil salesman or anything like that. I'm not selling you like snake oil like some fake shit. But what I'm trying to tell you is that you'll notice that we can give you the concepts and all these ideas, but and they do work obviously because we apply them all the time. But it's more so about what you're doing with that information. Now, I like liquidity and stuff like that because to me it's easier to visualize. I like to visualize um, you know, just like levels, really. That's how I trade. So that's why I like liquidity and stuff like that. Taylor, what I've noticed is he loves to trade like channels and trends. He loves to like really show like ranges that are actually moving up together. So that's how he likes to trade. And that's the thing. This is the beauty of it. Like, there's no right answer because a lot of the times, if you're using the strategies correctly, they will align with each other. You know what I'm saying? They will give you the same answer because if you trade the broad information the same way as I would trade like liquidity levels, you're actually getting the same outcome. You're waiting for a re-entry, a displacement, and there might be FVG in the middle of a broad information that you enter it. You know what I'm saying? So, um, that's why like I don't necessarily try to shame other people in terms of how they trade because I now know after like a couple years that all this shit is really the same. And when I was learning ICT, I was like, this is a really fancy support and resistance. You know what I'm saying? Because the idea of a market structure shift is like almost exactly like support and resistance, where you're actually just finding the point where a previous support becomes resistance, or a previous resistance becomes support, right? So it's like it's just like all these things are kind of like recycled and copied and stuff, but it's more so about to give specific data points so you can make educated decisions. That's really what it is. And people who are by the way, there's also like a bunch of community of traders that don't even use charts. They just look at the price to make their decision. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of it does work. A lot of it has been figured out, but the people why people say people lose money in trading is because they're not no, typically not like disciplined, or they're not active enough, or they haven't traded a long time where they're just letting their emotions get best of them and they say, well, I'm just gonna go all in and see what happens, or I'm just gonna revenge trade, or all this stuff like that. So just a little tidbit of what I think of all these concepts and why I don't necessarily study more. I don't even know the strat fully because I just don't need to. I borrow I borrow things from the strat all the time. Like, I love inside the concepts of marking each candle as 1, 2, or 3. I actually love that concept. I also love the concept of full time frame continuity. I also love the concept of broad information. So it's like I use half the strat anyway. You know what I'm saying? To make my decisions. Just because those individual tools are so good in my opinion. They're just amazing. Like they're such a smart way to think about the market. Yeah, yesterday I didn't have a full trade. I made some profit, but they were like what? They're like the risk to reward was 1-1 because I ended up moving my stop loss. So I didn't really have full positions I traded yesterday. It's because yesterday there was a low. There was a new low that we never touched, and then I was targeting that, and then we went all the way back up. So I was like, damn, I just got stopped immediately. Yeah. I mean, for those situations, a lot of times there's situations where I'm like, oh, if I just held, I would have been green or whatever, right? But the issue is not you holding. The issue is that you didn't position yourself where you were comfortable with the risk to a point where you actually were forced to close it, whether the outcome was good or bad, right? Like you didn't put yourself in position where, let's say this, you were down like 56% or something, right? And you're pricing risk management, you're gonna close it. If you were down, let's say 10 to 12%, you probably would have held and you probably would have been rewarded, right? So now your question is, well, why didn't I enter a position that would have allowed me to only take 10 to 20 risk? Why didn't I do that? And then that becomes a line of questioning where you're like, holy shit, was my entry really that good? You know what I'm saying? Or was my risk really that good? Was I really willing to lose this much? But, you know, there's a million trades to go over like that. And that's kind of where you start to see the improvement, where you can kind of. And by the way, I hope you are journaling, or I hope you're tracking or writing things down. If you're not sure, if you're not like if you're not confident that you can do the same thing every day, then you need to be writing stuff down. And I, as an instructor and someone who's traded for a long time, like I still write down stuff. So I think everyone should. Now, granted, I'll be honest, I haven't been writing down a lot of things, but it's just because I kind of know what I'm doing. But I will start. If I start losing again, I'm going to start doing that, you know? Last time I started a journal and I was noting things down because I didn't like how I was trading. So I just started journaling again a day by day. And then we saw the improvement. Even on the streams, we saw the improvements, you know? So it does work. Because even if someone gives you a general guideline, there's going to be so many nuanced, like so many specific market things that happen that the person didn't even talk about that you're like, what the fuck? Like, how do I trade this thing, you know? Also, just a little bit of a spoiler, but there is going to be a upcoming session I'm going to host. It's going to be a backtesting session. And so basically, the Teach Trade team had a team where had an idea where if people want help day trading, we could go back and we could start doing replays and we can have like a group session where people are interacting and then effectively I'm going to be coaching and guiding because I've probably already taken the trades, but what I will do is I will leave it up to the chat and then we will have a cohesive like experience where I'm going to say I'm going to pause the screen and be like, all right, what decision can we make? Do we stay? Do we enter? Do we exit? What do we do here? You know what I'm saying? So I think over a week, if we do that over a couple trading days, you'll see how effective the actual strategy is. And you also learn that the strategy is not really effective. It's actually the risk management that's effective because the risk management allows you to get out fast and pretty much trade for another day where it actually does happen, where the outcome actually does happen. Okay. Okay, let me just get back to the market here. It's almost 10 a.m. We're gonna have that news that comes out. Do we have an outside there yet? No, we didn't. All right. And by the way, like not trading on inside days, guys, is part of risk management. You're literally making the decision on the day, like this is not a good day trading day for me. I'm out. You know. So that's also part of risk management as well, because sometimes your lose streaks will be because you're trying to make up for one or two trades that you lost. Now it's 10. Now it's 10 a.m. We saw a new low being formed here. And now what's happened? Okay. The market just shot up like 30 points in within 5 minutes. All right. Okay. Yeah, this is some fucking inside day ass shit right here. Damn, if you held shorts, you would have gotten destroyed. Man, this candle was crazy. What's interesting is we didn't go for this. We didn't go for this low here. We just like went right next to it. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen here. I probably have to see these summit candles close above this uh, key level here. Effectively, that would do is if we have candles close above here, it's effectively like a market structure shift. So it's cool because we have an area of liquidity. We made a new low. If we get a displacement or a market structure shift, then I would be I would be enticed to make a trade here. Probably risk a little low or probably miss one times trade because it's an inside day. I'm not really interested to be honest. And I thought we were gonna have three market events from 9:30 to 10 a.m. That was actually gonna make this an outside day. It didn't. It didn't. It's fucking inside as hell. I don't really like it. So if anything I trade, I'm gonna do like one or two contracts because it's my own money and I don't feel like putting my own money down on some stupid ass shit, man. There's no technical analysis involved. Just like I don't give a fuck. I don't feel like it. You also notice that it's a little weird that I get in and I like am expecting not to trade. It's more so just I understand that's like a weird concept, but it's more so I do that because I'm really trying to stick to my rules. Like if I don't see the conditions play out for me, I don't really give a shit who trades what. Like I don't see it, I'm not trading. This is a huge, huge risk right here. Right. Man, this FVG is so big, I don't even want to trade it. Okay, this one's a little bit better. I think we might have a market structure shift pretty soon here. Okay, there it is. There's that market structure shift we were looking for, guys. So big, big market structure shift here. I would love to see an entry after this. Well, actually, it honestly depends where the candle closes, to be honest. But yep, that's what I'm talking about right there. This is the market structure shift we want to see. I think I might want to enter here, to be honest. I gotta see where this thing ends. but it is a nice entry. Okay, you know what? I might have to enter. Alright, let's grab an entry here. I will target this right here, this point right here. And what I'm doing is I'm gonna wait till if this FVG gets filled, I'm out. That's kind of like, you know, my saving grace here. And this market structure shift. But if price keeps coming back below, I really want to get out here. I'm just staring at this on the 1 minute here. I'm just trying to see this continuing uptrend. If it doesn't, oh man, I'm clapped. Alright, I got taken out there. It looks like it was an internal liquidity grab here. Just gonna reposition myself and see if we can get another trade, but it wasn't super hot trade to be honest. Alright, I did get stopped out once. I think I have another trade left in me effectively, but we'll see. Yeah, if I get taken out of here, I'm done, dude. Like I'm not streaming on inside days. I don't have a good. I've like lost every inside day. I'm just not gonna do it anymore. There's just no point. You know what I'm saying? Like how the fuck can you tell a range between here? How can you tell if it's gonna go up or down in this candle? Yeah, shit is honestly a waste of time, but it's alright. There's a chance that we actually expand all the way to the downside. I'm not gonna lie, and take this level. Just we'll see. We'll see how these candles go. This candle has been really hard to close over. It seems like. Yeah, market's getting real interesting right now. I might just take another trade here at some point if price does respect this. I'm in, but I'm just gonna keep my sell real. Yeah, I'm saying real low. Um, I'm just expecting this to respect this, but if that's it, then that's it. It's like two very low risk trades. I'm only trading like 1 to 2 contracts at a time. It's just because it's inside day. I don't even like trading inside days. So what I see is upside, right? I see the upside because I'll tell you. I'll tell you why. I actually already got stopped out. My risk was that low, so I'm not even trading anymore. But um, so basically like since we didn't make this low here, I think we would probably have to expand all the way upside. But because we did expand on some internal liquidity, it could just be that now. Okay, this FVG is going to get filled. But now what's happening is this internal liquidity got taken, and now we're actually going to, you know, make a real expansion on the downside since we've already expanded up. Do you see how price here is sort of like expanding on the upside? Let's see. You're gonna put swing highs here. Right, and so if that's the case, so this is kind of what price is doing here. And so, hold on, let me see. So if you were to expand this a little bit, right? Kind of like what's going to happen where now what we can do is pretty much ensure that price is going to come down and take this next liquidity all the way to the downside, right? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking now too. My original my original expectation was since we didn't tap this liquidity on this side, I'm thinking um we have market structure shift up. We see this FVG, and then I enter on the FVG, and then we just go all the way up. But what happened was the FVG ended up getting filled, so ended up getting stopped. And since then, the price is looking to fill, all this downside, which, you know, this is what happens on these kind of inside days where, you know, it's just like you don't know when price is going to go up and when price is going to go down. That's why I don't like trading them. That's why I'm not taking another trade. I took my 2 trades. They both got stopped out. Next time, I'm not trading on inside day. I'm not streaming. It's just like I'm like 3 days red on every time I've traded inside day. I'm not doing this shit anymore. As you can see, it's a fucking waste of time. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could. I mean, in essence, you should be focusing on breakouts, but the whole point is like you're figuring out when that breakout is gonna happen, when these levels being taken are gonna happen. That's also why, honestly, I should have followed my own advice to be honest, but I was feeling pretty good, but excuse me. But the idea is that we're kind of just supposed to wait at these liquidity levels per se, and so like what I was supposed to do is kind of just wait, let that entry form, and then let me wait for that re-entry to happen. It did eventually happen, but you got taken out immediately, right? So like it was telling me there that, you know, although we did get a quote unquote breakout, it's never gonna actually reward you until you know what is happening, like in terms of its market structure, you know. So now we have this all the way downside, right? I'm seeing if there was an FVG ever formed on the downside for us to take. And that's the thing. Probably not. And now we have this one right here. Right? So there's a downside FVG. Now I would definitely take it, I think. The reason I say I think is because I don't know yet. Yeah, the max I'd be willing to risk is just the entire FVG. I wouldn't even hold it up here. But the risk, right? The downside is could be really nice. It's also here as well. Okay, now I think we have room to go actually. The loss right here is 24 ticks if you keep the FVG. The risk does look good, but it probably not even gonna show up there because like the idea is that um how can I say it? The idea is that price does a reversal or like price reacts around that blue line, or at least at that point, if you're in a position, you might want to take things off. You know. You'll see that price has a hard time closing. Like candles have a hard time closing below the yellow line. You know. If you have a minute candle close here, it's kind of a big deal. Yeah, nice. Gonna move my stop to break even now. Not letting it go against me. We got a new low just now. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. I protected that right there. The reason why I put my stop right there, right above the yellow, is because price doesn't like to stay above this, below this yellow. That's what I've noticed. You see here? Alright, I think I'm done. Yeah, this was a low right here, actually, that we marked. This area, that yellow area that I marked, that was a New York low. And that low happened at 9:05 a.m. So you'll notice that price doesn't actually like to stay below that, right? I might enter another stop, we'll see, or enter trade, but you know, I think for now I'm done. That's honestly 3 trades. I broke my rules, but I just got a little bit of get back just there. Um, just because I wasn't really pleased with how I analyzed it, since I kind of had an idea of what's going on. I just think my execution was kind of bad. I think I forced 2 downside trades. I think I should have just forced one, and then that should have been it, you know? But I think that was it for the day. Pretty much I was just scalping there, and of course I made back one position. That's fine, but I'm still kind of like effectively -1 for the day in terms of my total positions. So, um, I mean, if this plays out, it is whatever. But I honestly don't have the time for let this play out either, because I got a coaching call I got to prep for in 30 minutes. So, we're gonna see that, and yeah, I'm honestly my goal is to coach them better than what I just did today. But it is what it is. It's an inside day. I'm not gonna beat myself over it. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. This is the last day I'm trading inside days. I just know my shit doesn't work as well as I'd like it to. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to really tonight. I'm just gonna spend some time and figure out what the fuck happened here and what my mistake was. Luckily, I'm doing a replay, so I can literally just figure it out. Like, why didn't I see that coming? Like, am I, not using the 5 minutes properly? Like, what is the issue there? So I think I'll figure it out at some point. But um, and if you were to take this FVG and got this entry right when I was charting it, that would have been a really, really nice move anyway. So that could be the silver bullet for the day. If it goes past the blue into the yellow line here, that's the dream. But I don't think that'll happen because I'll tell you why. The reason why I put my stop at the yellow, right? And that's kind of the gut feeling I had. Because, let me tell you something. If this is going past blue and it goes to the next level, that's an outside day. You know what I'm saying? It would just have to come down so much. And it would have to be like, I think some bad news or something for that to happen. But, we had that news at 10 a.m. and that didn't really do shit besides take every short out. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, when that happened, when it took every short out, that's when we got effectively, like, a more recent low in an FVG. So, it is what it is, right? Um, but yeah, that's gonna be it for today. We're gonna pick back up probably tomorrow or Friday. Um, and I hope if it's an inside day, I'm not showing up. This is like my third inside day I streamed and I lost. So I'm over this shit. Because now I'm losing my own money. I'm over this shit. Alright guys, I'll catch you at some point this week if it's not an inside day. So have a good one. And yeah, we'll get back at it. We'll get back at it. And if you're in the Discord, keep staying in tune. Keep staying tapped in because we're going to have more events. And we're going to do a lot more lessons than we did last year. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we took like the end of last year to literally rebuild the whole platform. It took like 3-4 months. And then since we already have like some mechanisms already existing, we were able to speed up a little. But it doesn't really matter. What I'm trying to say is that just keep tapping in and you will definitely be rewarded because we're just going to be adding more lessons, more content, and you know what I'm saying, more things from me as well. More and definitely I can promise you, I'm sorry for today's performance. Definitely better execution for sure. I just gotta the thing is once I get a couple wins under my belt, then I can really start playing how I want because I'm just really trying to scalp, get wins, get green, get profit. That way I can actually take large positions, you know what I'm saying? Actually have a trade pull out, not manage 5 minutes, manage 1 minute. Maybe I'll go into 5 and 15 actually have large positions. I just can't do that right now because I'm trying to gain enough profit to actually, uh, like, how can I say, withhold the length or withhold the risk of a giant or a larger FVG because we're getting these giant moves. So I need to up my risk a little bit, but that needs to happen in a controlled environment. So that's why I'm sort of pinching pennies right now. I'm not risking too much. I'm getting out fast, but just bear with me. And I think within 1 or 2 weeks we're really gonna get active with the trading. And also, I don't really have to. I know no one really asked because I know you guys are all nice and really kind to people, and you're gonna forgive my losses and whatnot. But I just feel like I owe you a little bit better performance. So if you guys are tuning in, I'll do my part and try to really really nail down these executions. So yeah. All right, guys. I'll leave it at that, and we'll check in tomorrow. And we'll check in Friday. We'll see. I'll announce if I look like it's an inside day or not. That's really it because I'm 0 for 3 on inside days. I tried it this month. I'm fucking done. All right, guys. I'll catch you. Bye bye.